trying to fuck it up.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? And welcome to the VGRCast. As always, I am your host, Kevin, and I am joined by my lovely friends, Monica, Ryan, and Mike. Might be joined by Steve later. Here's Christine. She's sick. Don't spread your germs on me. It's not COVID.
I can't kiss for 2 days. It's gonna suck.
She can't kiss me right now.
Oof.
Yeah, the chair's fine.
That reminded me of the joke is like
Go lay down.
when people cough and say it's not COVID, it's the equivalent of mid-climax shouting, "I don't have AIDS."
Okay, I feel like one's way worse than the other.
Is it though? I mean, both can kill you.
Yeah.
And both technically don't have a cure right now.
I feel like AIDS is more of a long-term thing,
Money
as
cured
in
AIDS.
you're stuck with it for the rest of your life.
Unless you're Magic Johnson.
Unless you're Magic Johnson and you sleep on piles and piles of money.
See, money cures AIDS.
Then you send a bunch of people to Africa and say, "We found the cure for AIDS. You just have to take all of your money."
Oy.
You just have to inject yourself with all your money.
And then they just kind of stare at you.
Yep. What a good episode of South Park.
That was a good episode.
In
Oh, it's
AIDS,
a South Park reference, of course.
in AIDS benefit seat, I don't think we have that. We have a cancer seat. We sometimes give cancer patients free seats.
And then Kyle broke Cartman's Xbox.
Yep. I'm still breaking your Xbox. AIDS burger
Wait,
in paradise.
God, no! Oh, I forgot that they did a fucking Jimmy Buffett
See, I
thing.
prefer
They
the
did.
Team America World Police, everyone has AIDS. Have you guys seen
AIDS,
that movie?
AIDS.
I have.
Of course.
That was
Which
a
is
that was a
basically
Rent
Rent,
reference, yes?
Yes.
Because that is Rent. Like that it condensing it down
AIDS, AIDS,
I-
AIDS, 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 AIDS.
and confirm.
When was the AIDS episode? Because that was probably right around when I actually started watching it.
Had to be like the late 2000s.
2008. I think that was right around. That might have been one of the first episodes I saw like new and live.
Really?
I even know the first episode of South Park I ever saw. The first episode of South Park I ever saw was the hell on Earth Halloween party.
Oh yeah, Angels in America also. AIDS.
Jesus,
I
my
don't-
dad let me
I
watch
don't
that early.
I don't remember what the first episode I saw was, but I think the first episode I remember. God, I think it's the World of Warcraft one.
Oh, that's fair.
the earliest one I remember.
I remember it was my dad was like, hey, come watch this with me.
Oh no, the hippie concert. That's the first episode.
Oh, okay.
I saw.
You know what just blew my mind though? So the first episode I saw was the Hell on Earth episode, and it was the one where the devil throws a party for his birthday on Halloween
That was.
with Biggie Smalls.
Well, we got you an Acura.
I wanted a Ferrari cake. So that was the first episode I ever saw. That episode came out in 2006. First of all, I was in 6th grade. My dad let me watch that. Thanks, Dad. But the shocking thing to me.
It started coming on Comedy Central like fairly early around.
Yeah,
then.
like
Yeah.
late 90s, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, even like time slot wise, it started coming on at like 8:00.
Yeah. Well, I remember my dad was like, "Hey, you want to watch this with me?" And I was like, "What is it?" And I'm like, he's like, "It's a funny cartoon."
Oh, it's a cartoon. I like.
And I was
cartoons.
like, "Hell yeah!"
Oh!
And then my mom walked in halfway through the episode, and she's like, "You're letting him watch?" She was like, "You're letting him watch this?" And he was like, "He watches Family Guy and stuff." And then she was like,
Those are not on the same level.
No, not at all. But
my
what was shocking to me is the Hell on Earth episode is season 10. In 2006, season 10.
We're on
Holy
what,
shit.
season 23 now? or
26,
something?
I think.
26.
Did you so? And the pandemic special came out last week,
fuck.
and it was okay.
I think the latest episode of South Park I actually saw was the Coon Part 1.
That was like
Yeah, I know how long ago it was.
that was a while
It was
ago,
like
man.
5 years ago.
They're like all for free on SouthParkStudios.com. You just
Yeah,
gotta put up with
it's
ads.
20 seasons of South Park.
26, I think.
Yes.
But they're good. You don't
I
even
can
know that.
barely keep up with 2 seasons of anime.
You
want
don't
me to
even-
watch 20 seasons of South Park?
You don't even know that that Stan's family moved.
Wow.
No. You don't understand, Mike.
Did Tweet
Stan's-
die?
Stan's dad is a weed farmer now.
Nice.
They live on a weed farm called Integrity Farms.
Hey guys, I've got
You
the
lost
cat
your
text.
integrity.
There's
Oh,
the
that's a good
text.
cat.
Oh, Monica froze.
No, she's
Did
still
I
moving.
freeze?
No,
Oh,
the
there,
cat's moving.
She's back.
He's sniffing your eyeball.
He's sniffing my eyeball. He says,
Actually,
I'm
though,
normally not allowed in here, so this is all very exciting.
at one point though, for like Christmas, my family got me like a best of South Park thing, like DVD called The Cult of Cartman,
Ha
and it's like the best Cartman episodes. It has Scott Tenorman Must Die.
Yep.
It's got some good stuff on there.
And
And it's shaped like a fucking like book. The case is shaped like
okay.
a book.
I got my dad like a best of South Park Christmas episodes, but I think it's just all the Christmas episodes.
I haven't
are
really
any
seen
of-
all that much South Park, so I can't really contribute to this conversation. So more cat text.
Yeah.
Key.
Are any of the Christmas episodes really worth mentioning aside from Christmas Critters?
Christmas Critters was good. Red Slate Down was good. That's the one where Santa gets shot down in Iraq.
I
Or
didn't see that
I think it's
one.
actually Iran. Personally, so go on a slight different cartoon tangent. American Dad. Has anyone ever watched American Dad?
I've seen a few episodes of American Dad.
Yeah.
American Dad is so much better than Family Guy now. Like, after season 3 of American Dad, it is immediately better than Family Guy, in my opinion. But American Dad has the best Christmas specials, mostly because Santa hates them, and Santa tries to kill them every year.
Okay, but are they better than the Futurama Christmas specials?
I think so.
Really?
Except there's only like one or, I guess there's a couple Futurama ones. Like the first one.
Because anytime Santa shows up in Futurama, it's a fucking god tier episode.
That's
so
true. That's my cue. Which
Oh
that makes sense why the first Futurama movie is the best Futurama movie, because Santa's in it.
Pick on baby.
He's in it for like a no. Actually, he's got like two. He's in 2 songs.
Look, can I talk about? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna steer away from this topic and talk about cat things.
I was also going to steer away, so you go first.
Okay. So one of the things, so this little boy right here, he is very smart, and he figured out how to open the bathroom cabinet.
Oh, I saw that Snapchat. Yeah.
So what I did on my
Hey,
last
Mama,
day-
you popping pills in here?
I want to get all the drugs.
Why are you
I
keeping
wanna
lemonade
get all-
mix under the sink?
I want to bite all the drugs and chew on all the Q-tips. Oh, I love chewing on the Q-tips. But I
tastes
had
sweet.
to. it's sweet. But I had to pick up baby locks for the cabinets,
Mhm.
and I got adhesive ones because #apartment life. And he already figured out ways to destroy them and knock them down.
Of course.
Because he is just so little and so smart.
So
boy.
I like my parents went to the casino over the weekend, so I had to watch their dog and my cat, who still lives with them. And like for a while, it's been like, do I want, since the twins, my sister's cats are gone, it's been like, do I want to take my old cat back and have him live with me now? And he's become very needy lately. He just loves being pet. I'm like, which I'm fine with, but he's also a super long hair cat.
Oh
so,
boy.
a lot of shedding. I'm like, oh, I can't deal with this. No.
Cats equal shed. It doesn't matter. I've
Yeah,
found
my
Danny
desk is
hair.
covered. My desk is covered in Danny hair.
Yes, but this is a white cat, so
Oh.
I understand that. Am I?
Yeah.
Wait.
I can't have my work shirts covered in cat hair when I go.
I
in
got
and-
got pretty unscathed considering I was holding him because Rickon is a creamsicle.
Yeah.
Speaking of, wait. So, are you taking the cat, Mike?
I am not
Oh, why
at
not?
the moment because it's just like
Too much.
maintenance. Yeah,
That's fair.
I like not having maintenance. But
Speaking of pets, we went on a big shopping extravaganza this weekend. Went to a fish store because we're like, okay, we're here for another year. Let's finally fill up this fucking fish tank. So went to the store, an aquarium store, and we told the guy straight up like, hey, we don't know what we're doing. Help us out. So bought all new stuff, and like apparently preparing for a fish is like a week-long process. Like, so you have to set up the tank, you have to put the water in it, and then you have to dechlorinate it and also introduce bacteria to the tank to produce, because you're essentially setting up like a little ecosystem.
maybe that's why none of my fish really lived very long when I was a kid.
Yeah, apparently.
Kind of bought them and put them in.
Yeah, apparently if you do that, they just die.
They either die or the other fish eat them.
Yeah, so
Finish your story. I have a goldfish story to tell after this.
I can confirm that bit.
but then so when we were at PetSmart, there on Sundays there's this one adoption agency that always brings in cats, and there were two Maine Coon sisters,
Oh.
and like they were both like 6 months old,
Oh, baby.
and I went, Christine, if we didn't have Danny right now, we'd be walking home with two cats, because they were pretty cats, and one of them was like, hi,
Hi.
But yeah, so, and I think we need more plants for the fish tank, but that's a different story.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah,
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, so when I was younger, we had a lot of fish growing up, but eventually we bought like 4 goldfish at once,
Mm-hmm.
and I think 2 like real tiny crabs. Eventually, they just started disappearing,
Okay.
Oh, God.
and one of the goldfish started getting real big.
Oh no.
And eventually, we put a Siamese fighting fish in there with him. And my mom caught the goldfish with the fighting fish in its mouth. Eventually, this goldfish got so big that when it died, we couldn't flush it because it was so big. So we had to bury it in the backyard.
Oh no, that's huge.
Oh my God, that reminds me of the part in the Super Paper Mario. There's a quest where you have to find this kid's like, hey, my fish is getting too big for its bowl, and you release it into this random river underground. And then if you go and visit that spot, like maybe a chapter or 2 ahead, or like the goldfish gets fucking huge, and that's just immediately what popped in my brain right now.
But yeah, I'd say that fish. Granted, this was like I'm trying to like reconcile like my 8-year-old how big things are with my 27-year-old how big things are.
Yep, I understand.
I would say it was at least as big as a phone by the time it died.
Well, you also said that you couldn't flush it, which is a pretty good indicator of how big the fish was, because that's really fucking big for a goldfish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I mean, it ate 3 other goldfish and 2 crabs.
As someone who's like worked with the fish at a grocery store,
There it is.
yeah, they will eat the dead fish. Like the living fish will eat dead fish if they're not fed enough.
I've got a video of our.
I have had to like scoop out remnants of fish, and I'm just like. And
They also
like,
eat dead plants and stuff.
Yeah, well, when we scoop out like all the dead fish, we have to keep track of. Okay, it was this kind of fish. The ones that have been like eaten, you're like, what are you?
Yeah.
Like, you don't. Do you belong in this tank?
This one was eaten live.
You belong in this one. What are you doing in there?
Real quick, I'm putting up a video of our tank, and it's got RGB lights.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very fancy. I'm thinking about getting some snails too for the tank,
No.
because apparently snails
I
clean.
forgot that snails can go underwater.
Yes, they can live underwater. I forgot
What are you
that too.
doing in the water? You belong on the ground.
That's the opposite.
You-
Of
It's gonna
Yeah,
have
that's the
video-
opposite of the line.
Bloopa?
Are you gonna have
What are you doing?
Are you gonna have the video loop throughout the rest of the podcast?
I can't figure out how to get it to loop. I can't figure out a loop. I have to keep manually playing it.
Oh, then forget that.
Yeah, I know, right? That's too much noise. But yeah, so that's what else did we do this weekend?
I just have a quick fish story because it's just always so funny to me. So, I just remember my sister had fish in her room and she had a fish tank. And there was one time at work. Do you guys remember Vault?
Vault?
The energy drink.
Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Remember
my
tasting
sister,
like blue?
No. It was like yellow or something.
Oh! No! I
Yeah,
drank Vault all the time. Hold on.
I'm drunk.
Hold on.
I'm so fucking drunk.
I drank that way more than Monster. I remember Vault. Yeah.
I thought I was
So,
drunk.
my sister, there was one time, she was working because she worked at Jewel for the longest time, and she saw it and she didn't know what it was. And my sister is not the type of person who should be drinking energy drinks,
Oh.
and
no.
she did.
Mhm.
And I remember very distinctly, like, because her room was next to mine, her cleaning her fish tank at like 11 at night and on like a school night, and my parents being pissed. Just being like, what are you doing? And just them yelling and screaming at each other.
I'd actually never had an energy drink until like maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah, you were talking about that on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's not good for you. Like, I
No.
could feel it not being good for you. Like, my heart was fucking racing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't like this. But it got me through that video editing. So,
I liked it.
Also, speaking of fish, these are two of Rickon's favorite toys.
nice.
Fishies.
This one was supposed to have eyes. This one, as you can see,
Oh God, his face. What's
His
wrong with the
face-
face?
Oh, God, what to do to my face?
he plays very hard.
Oh yeah.
Hard.
yeah.
Play.
He plays. He chews on things.
Haha. Fucking.
When I was at Meyer, sometimes when about like a month ago, someone bought this ugly looking fish that had been in the tank since I got there, and apparently it's been there quite a time before I even started there. Because I kept hearing stories from people who are like, yeah, that guy bites.
Ryan, you
And I'm
bite?
just like, no, the fish.
Oh, okay.
This fish. I'm just like, oh, cool. I can totally see that though. He was one looking like aggressive looking motherfucker.
Yeah, Ryan. Oh, so Ryan, you worked in the fish department, right?
Yeah, occasionally.
Do you know about betas?
No.
Okay, never mind.
What, beta males?
Well, no,
all
because-
all I know about them is like how much to feed them and how much we fed them, and I don't know if that was enough or not. So
Beta fish in community
I may have
tank.
worked with the fish, but I know jack shit about them.
I vaguely
Beta
remember
fish.
not playing well with others.
Yeah, you don't want beta fish with other fish.
What
unless
I've-
that fish is 5 times the size of a normal goldfish, in which case the goldfish will eat the beta fish.
Well, you see, what I've heard is that a beta fish will only fight other beta fish.
Not true. Nope.
Okay.
This
Oh.
fish I was referring to
What?
was also like the biggest fish we had.
Yeah.
Which
When-
when Mike was brought up his goldfish like growing abnormally large. I was like, oh yeah, it's like the biting fish we used to have.
Oh, that's weird. Why is this article from PETA? PETA's saying many people mistakenly believe that betta fish must be kept in solitary confinement. Female bettas can live together, while male bettas will fight each other to the death. They can both be placed singly in a community aquarium containing other species of fish. Huh.
Maybe.
I don't know.
See, I don't
Patrick
trust
is
that when
probably
one of
right.
the synonyms for the fish is fighting fish.
Yes, that's true. What's the
Patrick, you're more than likely right.
I haven't been reading chat. I'm sorry. When I discovered energy drinks was an interesting time. I drank energy drinks while delivering for Amazon at 5:30 a.m. I feel like you'd have to. My freshman year
Consider
roommate had a
the
betta
one
fish.
part
I've never
that
had a
leaves
betta
out
fish.
of that
Hey,
is
thanks for the
that
bits, Patrick.
he woke up at like 3:30
Bits for
a.m. to
betas.
work out and would start his shift at 5:30 a.m. So yeah, he needed the energy drinks.
Yeah, that's fair. Guessing that based on Myers' usual quality, those betas are probably starving to death. Yeah.
I think all the fish are starving to death.
He was beautiful
And I
when she
fucking
bought
worked
him.
with them.
That
Oh.
sounds like grocery store fish.
Yeah, and even like PetSmart, we were like, let's not go to PetSmart. So we found an aquarium store like 6 minutes from our house. And like we went there and we were like, even their betas look like really healthy. So we were like, oh, this is a good place. And they've got like a little like side. It's almost like a greenhouse, but for fish, like outdoor fish. So they've got like a little koi pond, like that's half indoor, half outdoor in their store. And like the koi fish were like kind of cute. Like you'd walk up to the side of the koi fish pond, and they'd like come to the water, and like you can go.
Man, y'all remember going to the pet store with your parents when you
No.
were kids?
Yeah,
I never went.
Oh, that was fun.
I'd always stare at the ferrets. I've always wanted
You
a
try
ferret.
out, yes, ferrets.
I want
and
a
then-
ferret.
There was one time my sister found a dead hamster at a pet store.
Oh,
We were about to buy a hamster. So senior year, right?
I'll start that again.
Senior year we got hamsters, and we went to the Petco, and we're looking at hamsters, and we want small ones, and they had like the original one was like DJ hamsters, and they were like Dungeness hamsters or something, but they're named DJ hamsters, and there were two of them, and then like we're looking at them, we're kind of really interested, and then like the guy working at PetSmart's like, oh, I have to take this one to the back. And we're like, why? He's got an eye infection. Oh, okay. Let's not get those ones.
Oh god.
Yeah. Getting a hamster is basically teaching your kid about death.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
this
know,
thing
I
will die
will-
in 2 years.
I
Yeah.
will say, my first pet was a hamster. We had a hamster named Patches, and he had the courtesy to not scar my 6-year-old self when he died because he had this little hidey hut in his cage, and he died in his cage. So I
Aw.
did not have the trauma of seeing a dead hamster because he died in his cage because he died in his little hidey hole.
So
I think only one of my hamsters died peacefully.
so
All right, let's stop this death talk.
Right, so-
no, I'm gonna keep talking death for a second.
Sorry, I saw in chat that someone was all about my weird pet stories.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Patrick.
so,
No,
one
weird
of
fish
them-
stories.
yeah, fish. I don't have any more weird fish stories, but I do have gruesome hamster stories that I will leave out the details of. The first one got mauled by the dog. Second
Same.
one may have
I
jumped
was
into.
about to say a pain you know all too well, Kevin.
Yeah.
Second one may have jumped into the storm drain in the basement.
It might still be alive.
No.
Super
Water
hamster.
in a pool of water that's about that big? I don't think so.
Mhm.
See, because like the way my basement was set up at my parents' house, we had like a little drain at the very back that a pipe just led into, but the cover was kind of kicked off. So
Oh.
yeah. But then the hamster I hated the most, our little Russian dwarf hamster, he lived like 3 or 4 years before he just died peacefully.
Donut and Griff were Russian dwarf hamsters.
Yeah, they're mean
I don't know what
motherfuckers.
type
So-
of hamster Patches was, but I know he lived for a very long time. Like he was at least 3 or
Mhm.
4, I think.
So, my very first pet was a goldfish. that I won from school. And then so the music teacher at the end of the year, he did this thing called Music Jeopardy, where essentially it was like a game of Jeopardy that the entire class played, and like it was like 3 groups and then like the championship round. So I went to the championship round, and like there was this, I was up against this kid who was like actually like musically trained on piano.
Did he
and-
have like really big glasses that you couldn't see through? Like...
No. No, but like the final question was something about Beethoven, and I got it right only because of a TV show on Cartoon Network.
Time Squad.
Time Squad, thank you. And then so
I knew it. I knew it. That's one of 2 cartoons that taught you about historical characters.
that was the one with the kid, the buff guy, and the robot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's Time Squad. Yeah. So I remember I got a question right because of Time Squad, and I ended up winning. And so like he had this big table of prizes, and I picked the goldfish. So I just came home from school one day with a goldfish. Like, Mom, look what I won.
Like, oh, guess we gotta buy a tank now.
Yeah, and I had that goldfish live for 8 years.
Wow.
Nice.
He was old
Speaking-
to the point
speaking of
where
car-
no, sorry, this is the end of my story. I refused to believe he was dead. So he was floating up in his tank, and I was like, he's just sleeping, and I kept feeding him for like a week.
Wow.
Like,
How old were you?
I was in like 6th grade, or maybe even older than
Okay,
that.
old enough to understand death.
Yes, I was very old enough to understand death, and it was like, I was like, he's
You've
just
probably
sleeping.
seen other pets die by that point.
No, I hadn't.
Oh.
I'd seen it on TV.
See,
Yeah, that was really sad.
That story reminded me. So, quick background about my parents. My mom grew up on a farm, so she grew up around all the animals and loves all the animals. My dad did not have any pets growing up, was not among any of the animals, and was had a traumatic experience getting attacked by a dog when he was little, so he's not a fan of animals. Quick background to this story.
Okay.
So, when we got my grandpa had a farm where the cats would have kittens all the time, and my mom asked my dad, I was like, "Oh, can we get one? Can we get one?" I probably was in like 2nd grade, I think, at that point, and my dad just so fed up was like, do what you want," not realizing that my mom took that as an invitation to work at a fucking cat.
Yeah.
So I remember my mom picked me up from school, and she had this little kitten. This was our Boots. He was a good boy, and she had him in this little box with a little flannel and little kibbles on it. And she told me, because my dad was not home from work at this point, and she's like, "Hey,
Secret cat.
my because she had to take my sister to like some parent teacher conference or something." And she's like, "Listen, if you gotta distract Dad before I get home, so make sure he doesn't know there's a cat in the basement until I have the chance to get home and show him." And of course, we're upstairs playing like a game, and Boots is in the basement like meowing, and my dad's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Nothing,
Nothing
nothing,
at all.
nothing at all.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing at all." So, and then my mom came home, and eventually we showed him in the basement, and we've been a cat family ever since.
So that's not the first time. So my going back to my story real quick with the fish, where I just came home with the fish. I was like, "Look, Mom, that wasn't the only time I did something like that." So in 3rd grade, there was a day where there was like an assembly we went to, all the 3rd graders, where they were like all the music teachers from like middle school and high school and from our school came out, and they demoed all the instruments to us. And then they walked you out of the room, and they pretty much told you, "Here's a sheet of paper, mark down 2 instruments you want to play." And I really wanted to play the flute. I really wanted to play the flute because I thought that was a cool instrument, thought it sounded cool. I don't know why.
Probably the hardest one to learn.
I know, but I was like, yeah, flute, let's do it. then it was also like, oh, I can play saxophone after I play flute. That's how it just worked in my school. So I was like, yep, this is cool. And then the lady like collecting the papers was like, you only mark down 1. You have to mark down 2. And I was like, but that's the only one I want to play. Like, that's the one I want to play. And she's like, just mark down 1 at random then. And I was like, okay. Tuba.
Tuba. Guess which one you played.
Well, and then I went to the flute station, couldn't make a sound. And then so like the way they were, it was like 1 to 3, 1 being good match, 3 being you need to work hard on it. And she gave me a 3. She was like, yeah, I mean, like,
I was about to think she gave you a 4.
she should have. I couldn't make it make a sound.
He'd be like, nah, go over there.
And then I went over to the tuba station, and then it was actually, I believe it was my my 7th and 8th grade band director who was doing that one. And then he showed me how to play it, and I played it, and he was like, you know, you've actually got really good sound on that. Like, I really want you to start playing this. Like, I'm giving you a 1. Like, you should seriously consider this. And I was like, okay. So I went home to my mom, and she's like, hey, are you going to play the flute? And I was like, I'm playing tuba.
About that.
We need to go to a music store and pick up a sousaphone so I can practice at home. And my mom was like,
Tuba.
well, no, because so at home, they gave us like a fiberglass sousaphone to practice on. It's the same thing, Mike. It's literally the same instrument. What?
I'm not gonna say anything.
It is the same instrument. There is the only difference between a tuba and a sousaphone is the way that the metal is twisted.
You hold the sousaphone on your shoulder.
It produces a slightly different sound.
No, it doesn't.
How much is a fiberglass tuba?
Does it, Ryan?
How much is a fiberglass tuba?
Hold on. I don't know.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
So actually, you know, that got me curious because I actually have
The sousaphone
a
is
story
known as a
about how I
marching
chose
tuba.
trombone.
It costs around, or it coils around the player with the bell pointing forward. Sousaphones are either made of brass or a white plastic. The difference between sousaphones and tubas is very small. They are the fucking same.
The difference is very small, but there is a difference.
Fuck you!
Before Monica starts her story, story only takes like 10 seconds.
Okay.
I picked sax. My best friend in 4th grade joined the band. He played saxophone, and they're like, "Oh, I guess I'll play saxophone." And then I very quickly got better than him and everyone else. And also, he turned out to be a dick like 6 months later. And then he wasn't my best friend anymore. And then I was just the best saxophone in the band with no best friend.
Male flute. Oh wait.
That was also when I skipped a grade.
Real quick, I want to read Patrick's story. When Patrick was in kindergarten, he had to do a little class project with a pet snail. I did it with a roly-poly. Mine lived until I was in 2nd grade, but one of my friends from then still has the pet still today. 17 years old.
Yes,
Bullshit.
Be old, man.
Male flute players are rare. They are rare.
But I've seen them.
Cat is 18.
This wasn't bassoon. They gave you a sousaphone to practice on?
You know,
Yeah.
also rare, female trombonist.
Yeah. Sousaphone or fiberglass sousaphones are terrible.
Well, yes, fiberglass anything
Wait, he's not
instrument
gonna
is
get a brass
terrible.
'cause that's 20 grand.
We're talking about what they gave me in elementary school to practice on.
Oh. Okay.
Real
Mike-
quick, no one had the.
Sarah, Mike is not right. The difference between a tuba and a sousaphone is so small.
Look at your volume. You're
It's
in
about the
red.
timbre
care.
of
I
the
get it.
sound. I'm willing to let it go. Real quick, no one had the experience of having the class pet die on them, right?
No.
Never
Sorta.
had a class pet.
Yeah, same. I never had a class pet.
Yeah.
Although,
I think I
oh
did
god,
one.
now I have 2 stories. Okay, so for the record, the second one does not involve pet death. But anyway, so
The
in
second
terms-
one doesn't.
The class pet Webkins. That
That's
super
hilarious.
doesn't count.
So the story of how I chose trombone is actually kind of similar to Kevin's, where it's like I was really interested in like flute, oboe and flute, I think, and then trombone was like my 3rd pick because I remember when I was trombone was my 1st pick, and then oboe and flute were my 2nd and 3rd. because when I was doing the recorder stuff in music class, I had a hard time with the fingerings, and my fingers just wouldn't work right. So I'm like, trombones, those don't have any sort of things you have to do with your fingers. Fuck yeah. So I remember there was a similar thing at my because we had band in 5th grade, so we'd go. So in the 6th grade, and the middle school band teacher was in charge of it. So we'd go over to the middle school and we'd try out the instruments. So we tried out the trombone, and the teacher was like, "Okay, do the thing with the try to make." Before she tried to make a sound on the instruments, like, try doing the embouchure. This is how you do it. And I do it, and because a brass embouchure just makes you go like, I thought it was funny, and I started laughing after I did it. Because I was 11, and the band teacher was like, "No, that's right. That's actually really good." And I'm like, "Huh." And that's how I chose trombone.
Well, what? For me, I was just like, I want to play saxophone, and then the guy was just like, "You need big hands to play saxophone. Why not trumpet?" I'm like, "Okay."
Big,
Also, you started with
meaty claws.
You do not.
My hands are not very big, but
then I
played
went home with
saxophone.
this.
You
Yeah.
do not strike me as a trumpet player.
That's because I put on a lot of weight in college. That's why I look like a tuba player.
Same.
And then you couldn't eat for 3 months, so you
Yeah.
lost it.
I wish that was Sam.
This is what I started on.
Nice.
That's wild.
I wish I had a tuba.
Yeah.
I wish I had a tuba.
Sarah says, Ryan, that's a cornet.
Man.
I was looking at that. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hero for a trumpet."
I thought the same thing. I was like,
Also, shout out to the flugelhorn. That doesn't get enough love.
Dude, I saw the flugelhorn for like the first time my senior year of high school, and I was like, "Dude, that's fucking cool."
Yeah, we had one for a jazz band that a few of the
I want
trumpet kids
one.
played for solo features, and it was really neat.
Slight tangent.
I also played bass clarinet for one semester in high school, and immediately became the second best person in my high school at bass clarinet.
Bass clarinet was cool.
It's very similar to saxophone.
Yes, and is it the contrabass clarinet? The
Yeah,
contrabass
there's-
bassoon?
Yes,
the really
there's a
big
contra-
one. Like
there's
like the one where you need a stool to sit on.
Yes, there's both the bassoon and bass clarinet have contra versions. So
Which one am I
Also,
thinking of?
On a similar note, shout out to the Barry sax, which is
Barry
like one of my
sax.
favorite instruments.
I played that in 8th grade because we had no low brass that year. So my band director got me a Barry sax, and I was the bass section.
Oh, what the fuck? That's silly.
It was
Why,
fun. I may
is
be
it,
thinking of
why is it
contrabass.
when I was in high school, all the weird people played Barry sax?
Oh, I'm definitely thinking
It's
about
not
that.
an
And
instrument-
not like are kind of weird. Like no, they were just straight up weird.
Yep.
The Barry sax is not an instrument for normal people. I'll be
know,
straight
like
up
the-
with that.
It is a sexy instrument, though.
It is a very
It's
sexy
sexy,
instrument.
but it's also chunk.
Yeah.
It is a chonk.
There was-
chunk.
There's so at my high school, there like the top jazz band played a song called "Moanin'."
Oh, I love Moanin'.
Yeah, and it features,
One of the most famous jazz songs ever. Yes, we know
yes,
Moanin'.
yes, and
Ba-ba-da-ba.
yeah. So, but then
Ba-da-da-ba.
and then the Barry sax player, she would practice like every morning, and so like since our band was like the first like period of the day, I'd always like hear her playing. That's a good song.
It is. It
Yes.
is a good.
That's a shit. Who is Theo?
Boo, Nat. Boo. I see you and your puns in the chat.
Are you asking who did it?
Charles Mingus. That's
Yeah.
who I was thinking of.
Slight side story about the class pet. We we had a different thing where every week someone had to bring home a book, and it was the same book, and then a little stuffed animal with the book, right? So like, remember Stella Luna?
I remember
like
Stella Luna vaguely.
Vaguely.
that was the first half of the year, and the second half of the year was a book called Tacky the Penguin. And then
I remember Tacky the Penguin.
yeah, and then so you got the book and you got a little Tacky the Penguin, and then so you had to read the book at home, and then you had to kind of write a little report on the book, and then also a report on what Tacky did at your house. My dog found Tacky.
Oh no!
And ripped Tacky to shreds.
Can we throw up a picture of Tacky the Penguin in the chat?
yeah, and then so
Can we get some Tackies in the chat?
and then so my entire my half my book report was writing about how Tacky the Penguin died. Tacky the Penguin was brutally mauled at my house.
And your teacher just looked at that and was like, "Hey."
I think my mom had to get
F's in the chat for Tacky.
I think my mom had to buy a new Tacky the Penguin for the class. Oh.
So I never got to my second story, which is related to class pets. Oh, Steve's in time for a good
Who the
story.
fuck are you?
Oh God.
Oh
Steve's in
God,
time
he's
for a
wearing a
story.
headset.
Oh God, you messed.
Oh no, hold on. It's all messed up. It's all poo.
Well, I figured as much.
Hold on.
Okay, and then
What
I
I
can
There we
tell
Sounds
go.
like you're in a bin.
Oh, hold on. Oh, did I? Hold on.
No, it's because you're clearly in a spot with a lot of echoey acoustics.
Echoes. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
So-
that's
Yeah,
kind
all
of
the
better.
names are messed up now.
I'm fixing it, Ryan.
I'm only in for a few minutes, but because we're still unpacking stuff. But
Can
what
we
I
just
found-
Can we just put him in the corner like the recycle bin on a desktop? Like...
Jesus.
Wow.
So Steve, since you're here for only a few minutes, you were gonna do like a house tour or something?
Yeah, if you guys are interested, it's still kind of messy, but I'll hold on a second. We flip this.
Make
Oh,
sure
no,
you don't
it's
give
a
away too much
mess.
information.
Oh.
We've never seen a mess before.
Oh no! Yeah, who could have foreseen such tragedy?
Yes, it's not like we're moving in or anything. Okay, so we're here at the front door.
Hello,
Oh.
front door.
Garage.
Hello, garage.
door, basement, which is full of boxes right now.
Merry Christmas, movie house.
What? Okay.
Keep going.
Up the stairs.
Show me the cabinets.
Cabinets? Oh, yes. The cabinets.
He very quickly hastens over to the cabinets. Ooh, they nice.
Yes,
They are nice.
Me and I helped prime them. Vanessa did most of the painting on the actual cabinets because she had time after work.
Gas stove or electric?
What?
It's gas.
Gas or electric stove?
Gas.
I'm
Nice.
Yeah. It's also got a middle burner.
jealous. Yeah.
Ooh.
The middle burner is something that you're like, when would I ever use this? And then when you have it, you're like, oh.
Big pot.
These are Vanessa's parents. They're being wonderful people and helping us out.
Hello.
My friends say hi. Dining room right now with a freshly painted wall.
Oh, I love the blue.
Yeah,
I was gonna. That is a nice blue. That is a nice blue.
Just
we're-
just that's being painted.
Just that.
Well, we already paint. Well, well,
The rest
hold
is
on.
vomit green.
So there's my usual gaming desk, which will be. Well, we're gonna get a bigger table there eventually.
Currently covered in what I assume is alcohol.
A little bit.
Boozing
living
while you work. Do 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 do.
Ooh,
living room's over here.
lovely.
I really like the flooring.
Yeah.
The flooring is so nice. It was also really cheap. Hi, hey, it's Vanessa.
Really?
Say hi. Vanessa's painting the other side of the wall here.
I see some
The
chewy
blue.
boxes in there.
More blue. So my
Yeah,
gaming
they don't have a
setup
pet
is-
though.
What?
You have chewy boxes, but no pet.
Well, we borrowed those from a friend who does have a ton of pets. So,
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You when you showed Christine and I in person, we were like, "Why do you guys have Chewy boxes?" And you explained it to us.
I think my gaming setup is going to be right there eventually in that corner.
Ah,
So once I get a desk and a chair.
very nice.
Okay, now for the upstairs. Oh, this is going to be our accent wall right here. It's going to be the same blue eventually. We're not really sure how we're going to do that yet, but we're going to figure it out.
A
You
long
need to hang up a
pole.
really obscene picture of something.
We're not doing that.
I dare you.
Okay. Master bedroom.
Nice.
Can
Show
we
me the
talk
ledge.
About, like every episode of Cribs in the 2000s, and they show the bedroom and be like, "And this is where the magic happens."
Right. Monica, I was literally about to say that, but I stopped myself.
No. Steve, show me the ledge.
Ledge?
The ledge. Up top. Up left.
Oh, yes.
The stupid little ledge.
Stupid ledge.
What is that for?
What is that
It's for displaying shit that you don't want your cat to get to.
That is
Yeah.
an entirely valid point.
I guess.
So, and here's one of our bathrooms, and apparently the previous owners were just...
Now this is where the magic happened.
Shit like this is all over our house, and I've also figured it out. I can spell the word fuck with letters on there.
Wait, F-U... Yep.
Cool shower stall.
Nice.
And then the two bedrooms here. This is the ye old guest room. Which we're gonna figure out how to fit more furniture here because we have so much fucking stuff, yo. And this is
That's the mode.
Oh well, I would turn on the light in here, but I don't have a light in here at the moment. But this wall is fucking blue.
That is
It's
blue.
so blue, yo.
That's like
and also that's all. Most of that's like Legos over there and other
Nice.
stuff that we have yet to sort.
Mike.
Lego
or
room.
Steve.
Yeah.
The Lego Twitter responded to me.
Oh well, what to what?
why do all the corporate accounts respond to you?
I don't know. I tweeted a picture of the stormtrooper bust I made, and then they were like, "Awesome job! Does it have a home yet?" And then I tweeted at them again this afternoon, and then I kind of put it on the mantle and I put the red hue light on. I'm like, I think the lighting looks perfect.
Oh, I have to check your Twitter later.
It
I
looks
tweet
dope.
at
Awesome
Gus asking about Black Box Down Pod. I tweet at Gus asking about something for Black Box Down podcast. He doesn't fucking respond. You get responses from fucking Lego?
It's a dream come true. Lego
Dude,
noticed me.
I would love to be sponsored by Lego. That would be amazing.
That's like the dream sponsorship.
Oh, I know. I found out we're hold on. We're rewatching the Mandalorian right now, and
I need to do that.
I figured out my next Lego set is going to be the Razor Crest because they just came out with one of those.
Ooh.
With one of those. I lost Mike.
I'm still here.
For whatever reason I can't see you because I accidentally turned off my phone. I don't know.
Apparently, Nat wants to know if there's carpet in the bathroom.
There is not, and anyone who has carpet in their bathroom is Satan.
Yeah, that's
That's
some
asking for a
voodoo.
mess.
You don't want pee-pee on your carpet.
Ugh.
Or doo-doo.
There were
How you
previously.
gonna voodoo on your carpet?
So previously, there was carpet like all over the floor in the downstairs, with the exception of like the kitchen, which had some really shitty looking
Lego and
tile
Raid
on
Shadow
it.
Legend.
What?
Sorry, no, Nat's saying VGRCast sponsored by Lego and Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legos.
Raid Shadow Legos. Ooh.
Ooh, the ultimate crossover.
Yeah.
If I could be
but
sponsored by
we're-
MeUndies and Legos, that'd be awesome.
We're
Rain, Shorty Lemons.
We're really happy with this place. It's just gonna take a long time to like finally get moved in. I don't anticipate getting my PC set up until like later this week. So I will be on the podcast for next week at some point. Probably sitting in the
Gasp.
dining room temporarily. What?
Gasp.
Yeah. I downloaded Fear so I can play some spoopy games on my laptop until I get my PC set up.
Spoopy. Who wants to play that one ghost game? Phasmophobia?
The fuck?
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new game. It's taken the world by storm.
That's your first cue that it is not taking the world by storm.
If you have to say it's taking-
Phasmophobia.
Among Us took the world by storm.
That's
Fall
fair.
Guys took the world by storm. Phantasmagoria is not taking the world by storm.
Listen, all I know is what?
Any man who must say that I am king is no true king.
Okay,
Fair.
Tywin Lannister, calm the fuck down.
Here's
Well,
the
I haven't gotten shot on my toilet yet, so
here's the Steam summary for Phasmophobia. 4-player online co-op psychological horror. Paranormal activity is on the rise. It's up to you and your team to use all of your ghost hunting equipment at your disposal in order to gather as much evidence as you can. It's essentially you and 3 friends, so 4 players, and you're in a haunted house together and you're trying to figure out the ghost story, pretty much.
interesting.
It's supposed to be very scary, very fun. It's also only $14. Not bad.
Also,
Okay,
Nat put in the chat, VGRcast, I got Legos in me undies.
Ow! Ooh! Ow!
Yeah, Phasmophobia's got like a lot of traction this month.
I mean,
Probably because it's October.
as long as it like doesn't touch your tip, it might be fine.
Oh, the Legos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't relate to that.
Legos in your bra.
That would suck.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I'm sure it'd be a lot more dangerous for me because it has the potential to go into places. But
Yeah, I was thinking that. It was like, what if it slips in?
Oh.
I said bra.
Also, fun vagina facts. Things can't it's very hard for things to get stuck. Because of just the
And
way
yet
they're
some
structured.
people manage to do it.
Some people manage to do it. There are certain things that can, but it's not.
Like
But
eggs.
It's very hard to do.
Eggs?
Yes, I have seen stories about people getting eggs stuck in their vaginas
So, wait,
because
wait,
they
wait.
tried to masturbate with them.
Rewind a second. Literal eggs or
Yes,
like...
literal eggs, Steve.
Well, because they're
And they came out hard boiled.
well.
Yikes.
I'm gonna turn off the stream
Steve's
now.
gonna leave now.
I'm gonna turn off
Bye,
the
guys.
stream.
Wait,
That's
we
it.
can't leave
We're canceling the podcast.
No, we can't cancel the podcast just yet because we need Ryan's Sports Corner.
Ryan doing Ryan Sports Corner.
You want to?
Ryan
Anything
Sports Corner.
happen.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba!
I'm gonna make a cool infographic for this eventually, by the way.
Because
really?
there's
Please
some,
use
apparently
my-
things are happening with the socks and
Oh yeah.
Please
Their
use my
manager or
ba-da-ba-ba as the theme song.
Apparently,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Have it your way.
Sports it your way. Ryan.
yeah, because apparently socks things are happening.
and both
Yeah, they
sacks.
fired their
Here.
manager of 4 years and their pitching coach of a very long time.
It must suck to be Ricky, cause it's like when it happened, like my boss is a huge Cubs fan, and then so he was like, they fired Ricky again, and he's like, this is exactly what they did with the Cubs,
Again?
like, well, so he was the coach for the Cubs for a while, and like,
Yeah.
same exact thing happened where he was the coach for the Cubs and the Sox when they were doing a bunch of rebuilding years, and then right when they got good, it's the year before they take it all, they fire him. And then they bring in the real coach to lead them to greatness. So people are like, ooh.
Well, he wasn't the guy to end up when we go to compete to win it all. He wasn't going to be the guy.
Probably not, no.
He made some questionable decisions towards the end of the season, even into the postseason.
Yeah.
Like, why every inning? You all right there, Steve?
Yep, distract you. I may or may
Like-
not be unpacking while you guys are talking.
Yeah. I think like the last game, either the last regular season game or the last playoff game, like every inning he changed pitchers.
Yep. I saw that.
Like why?
Inning? Every inning? That's insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a must-win scenario, he was changing pitchers every inning.
Okay, I don't even know a lot about baseball, and I can tell you that's really stupid.
Same reason why I think Matt Nagy is going to be gone soon. Like, I don't know if it was Matt Nagy or the offensive coordinator, but like I was watching, I don't know if it was the Patriots game or the not the Patriots, Buccaneers, or the team before that. But like there was one instance where it was like 3rd and 18, and like he threw like a 2-yard pass, and I was like, "What are you doing? You can't throw a 2-yard pass in 3 and 18."
Sorry, mild aside from the sports talk, but I need an ASMR of Steve opening boxes.
Walk me through
That
it,
was
Steve.
it was startling at first, but then it was
Would you like me
quite
to mute
pleasant.
myself while I open boxes?
No, absolutely not. I need that.
Mike's getting off on this, Steve.
I
Like-
don't know.
I'm at half-mast right now.
I didn't need to know.
I
Also, welcome
need
to my
this.
garage.
That is a garage.
You have a garage.
A 2-car garage, but we don't have my car in here because we have too much stuff in here right now.
I was wondering where your car was.
It is outside. It is currently directly outside the garage.
Ah.
Anyone need some cutlery? We're giving stuff away.
No.
Anyone need forks?
Ryan,
I got forks. You want forks?
Ryan, did anything
Fork
else
y'all.
happen in sports this week?
Hawks
Crawford.
said they weren't going to re-sign Corey Crawford.
That's the end of an era.
Signed in New Jersey.
Joyzy.
New Jersey.
Joyzy.
Joyzy.
Where's Old
Joe.
Jersey?
So easy.
England, probably.
Like I know New York is like
All the places to go. You go to New Jersey.
New Jersey.
hey, it's where the thing is, you know.
It's where
New Jersey has a lot of that thing, you know, a really good thing there. Mm-hmm. Can't think of anything good in New Jersey.
The
Is there a
only-
Jersey in
You would be
England?
Correct. You would be correct. There is nothing good in New Jersey.
And then
No,
and
the
then-
only good thing in New Jersey
I will.
is it has cheaper hotels to stay in for when you go to New
It's a cheaper place to stay than New York.
Literally, when I went with Marion for the Macy's parade, we stayed in New Jersey so that we wouldn't have to stay in New York.
Fucking
It's
New
right
Jersey.
there.
And then I think on Sunday the Blackhawks, Saturday the
Or
Blackhawks.
blue.
That's
proceeded to
blue.
Piss me off even more.
It's a blue bathroom.
I'm blue. Abu-dee-da-bu-da.
We have 4.
Ryan, you were
On
saying-
Saturday,
They're
the
two half
Blackhawks
bathrooms
proceeded to
still.
piss me off even more by trading Brandon Sod
Yep, I saw that. Like
for nothing.
you
Like,
you
how
just
do
got
you-
Sod back a little
That
while
would do.
ago. What?
We've had him for like forever, haven't we?
We
lost him.
We had him for a bit, traded him, and then got him back.
And now he's gone
Oh.
again.
We got nothing out of it.
Yeah, I saw that trade. I was like, I don't know any of the people
We
we
got a
got for
country
him.
roads in the chat.
I know the one defenseman,
Okay.
but he's not worth Brandon Sod.
Anything else for
Didn't
Ryan's
the-
Sports Corner?
Didn't the Bulls fire like all of their assistant
Oh,
coaches?
that was a while ago.
I just heard about that this morning. I guess I'm a bit behind the times.
Nat wants your predictions on the next Sox
Predictions,
manager.
anyone that isn't a former White Sox player.
I'm almost positive
I-
they're gonna
I-
they're
I would
they're
be-
gonna get a former White Sox player to do it. Almost positive.
I would be sort of okay if it was Alex Cora or AJ Hinch, even though they both have been caught cheating.
I've heard rumors of like AJ Przinsky, Frank Thomas,
Ooh,
like
Frank
like-
Thomas, that would be nice.
I don't know how he would be as a coach though, or as a manager.
Yeah,
don't tend to be good coaches.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be,
sport.
yeah. That's like the geniuses don't make good teachers kind of rule.
Yeah.
It's like when I was in high school, we had this really fucking smart dude as my calculus teacher. I don't think any of us learned how to do calculus that year.
Yeah.
and yet somehow I got a 4 on the AP exam.
Nice.
So,
I mean,
literally, he had to lower the curve by like 10, 15 points for every test so that half the class didn't fail every test.
that sounds like IT 377 for me.
Literally, at one point, he's like, if too many of you fail, I'm going to get in trouble, so I'm just going to give you points.
Yikes.
Do you guys want to hear about my Hornet story?
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
before-
I was
but
wondering
wait,
about
before
that
we get
all
into the
week.
Hornet story, because I keep wanting to tell this story, goddammit, then we could get you to your Hornet story.
Okay.
So, in 5th grade, going back to Classroom Pets, so
Oh, God. That was like 20 minutes ago, Monica.
I think it's a good story. Trust me, it's a good one.
Okay.
So, there were 3 5th grade teachers, and while we all had our main teachers in 5th grade, we kind of rotated between all 3 of them for various subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And the main guy who was the history teacher had like a bunch of fucking class pets. Like he had a bunch of like gerbils and frogs, and he also had a snake,
Snick.
which was pretty big. Like the snake itself was, well, actually he had like more of a larger snake when I was in like 4th grade, but 5th grade he had a bit of a smaller type snake. I don't know what the proper term for it is anyway, but the big scandal of our 5th grade year is that the snake got out.
Oh, no.
The snake escaped. And
It escaped.
and nobody knew where this damn snake was, and
Snake on the run.
you know what, now that I think about it, the snake's name was Bandit.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Come on, bring it. Oh, I'm ready. Thanks not playing anyone.
But it was lost for like a week, and nobody knew where this damn snake was. And then all of a sudden, it showed up randomly, like on the little like chalk setting thing.
What do you want me to do with it?
That little chalk shelf, and
Yeah.
it got caught. They put some like tape there, and it got caught on the tape, and everybody celebrated.
It got caught on the tape. Did Samuel L. Jackson show up and start
No,
yelling
not
about
like
stuff?
videotape, like they put
Yeah,
sticky tape.
No, yeah, we
I'm aware
understood.
of what you meant. I was going with an extended Snakes on a Plane reference. I was singing Cobra Starship earlier. Now I did the Samuel L. Jackson reference. Oh, I'm ready for it. Come on, bring it.
So to conclude the story, my main 5th grade teacher, who was also the main one who was in charge of English, after the snake was found, she was like, okay, write a story about what the snake was doing for that week. And I decided, because I was just fresh off of reading the second Harry Potter book, I was like, the snake went on the Hogwarts Express and had tea with the basilisk.
Uh-huh.
And that's how 5th grade Monica's brain was working. So Hornet.
Fun fact, Cobra Starship was the first band I ever saw live.
Neat.
Because they were
I only have
opening.
one Cobra.
They were opening for Fall Out Boy that day, so that was the concert I had gone to, and then they opened. So I was like, "Oh, that's neat."
So Hornet story.
Hornet.
So
Steve.
Oh,
Steve
right.
is high.
I'm sick, but hey.
So the Hornet story was last Thursday. Christine came home for lunch, and so we're having leftover. What we're eating?
We're having bell peppers. We're having bell peppers with eggs on it. I don't know because of weird texture.
No, it wasn't that. We were having we were eating lunch together, and like I just finished my lunch, and I look over at the window, and I see like a bee or like a wasp or something on the window. I'm like,
Something large and scary.
I'm like, is that inside or outside? Christine's like, I don't know. And I get up and I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's inside. Cool.
Oh.
And then so I'm like, okay, well let's take care of this. I get a fly swatter.
I get a
and
cup.
she gets a cup. I get a fly swatter and a towel. And then we see like another like small thing kind of like on the edge of the door.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
is that another one?
well, so it looked like a small like honeybee that the hornet might have killed.
Yeah.
And then
'cause
so
that's what they do.
Yeah, and so
'Cause they're assholes.
the hornets kind of stand like near the edge of the door, like kind of like right next to the sliding door part. So I can't really get a good whack on it. But then Christine decides, oh, I'll take the cup and I'll put it over the hornet. So Christine traps the hornet. Good job. Uh-oh, that second thing we saw is another hornet. It starts moving around up top. And it starts getting closer.
Probably because the one that I trapped was like, hey, fucker, help me.
Yeah, so I take a couple swings at it and I miss. And then I get him good once. And he kind of falls, but then he flies back up.
No, I don't think he flew back up. I think it was in third one.
I think, yeah, we think a third one came down again. And then, so there's 3 of them now. And then, so now we're like, okay, we need to get out of here. Because there could be, like, way more.
I have a
That
friend
reminds me of the red
that
versus
he's
blue
snapping
joke where
these hornets.
Griff and Simmons are sitting there going, look, that tank's getting closer. What? No, it's not. It's not moving. Yes, it is. It's getting bigger. No, it's not.
And then Christine
go ahead.
starts panicking. I start panicking. And I'm like, okay, well, you just keep that second one there. I'm gonna gather up some shit, and we're gonna go out in the hallway, and we're gonna call some exterminators.
We shoved the cat in her bag.
You will put the cat in her carrier and zip it up, and I put it on my back, and then grab a bunch of stuff and run out in the hallway. And Christine drops the cup, it screams, and I scream, and then we go out in the hallway.
The cup screams.
No, Christine screams.
I had a full-on panic attack. I was sobbing. I was screaming. When we got into the hallway, I was in the corner with my head between my legs, hyperventilating. It was a great time.
And then so we started calling exterminators, and it was such a flashback to the apartment lockout story. So many exterminators were like, "Oh, we can't get you in an apartment," or "Oh, we don't have any agents in the area." And then like I'm like calling like our landlord's emergency number. No one's picking up.
No one returned.
Yeah, no one returned our call. I'm assuming it's because I talked to Omar directly.
Yeah,
But then so.
Omar's amazing.
But then
I
so
hear
like
Omar is this pretty sweet dude.
he is. But then so
Omar's our savior.
I end up calling Omar, who's our maintenance guy.
And we're not really technically supposed to like.
I don't think I'm supposed to contact him directly, but I have his number because he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, there's this like hornet problem in our apartment. Like, what should we do? Like, do you recommend we call someone? Can you come out and fix it? And he was like, well, I was gonna come out tomorrow anyways, so I can bring my spray and take care of it then. And I'm kind of like, okay, that's better than Saturday that the one exterminator gave us. So we'll do that. Like, do you recommend that we keep trying to call the emergency line? And he's like, probably not. I'm kind of like, okay. So end up going back into the apartment, grabbing like laptops and stuff.
Like we're defensively holding
The fly swatter.
fly swatter and towel.
And so
staring at the window like
'cause-
it's gonna attack us.
yeah, because we were like, okay, when we left, they seemed pretty mad.
Well,
So
I broke one of their legs.
yeah, so got the laptop. I went to work. Christine went to work. We came back because we were like, okay, well, let's go stay at my parents' place. And then
Keep sleeping.
I know. So then we went back and we were gonna gather like a bunch of stuff. But while we were there, we talked to our neighbor, and he was like, "Oh, you got a," because I picked up like a can of like Raid, and he was like, "Oh, you got a can of Raid? You got a bug problem?" And he was like, and we were like, "Yeah, we got some hornets." And he was like, "You too?" And that's when we were like, "What?" And then it turns out he had hornets in his chimney, but his 3 cats were killing them. And then
likely because they have claws, ours doesn't.
well, yeah, so his cats were killing the hornets, and we were kind of like, okay, we're not staying here. And then the next day, Omar came out and he sprayed the outside, and he came into our apartment. And he killed them all for us. But it was just kind of like a whole ordeal of like, oh god, they could be in the vents. Like, how are they getting in? Like, we don't have our doors, like we don't have our windows open. We don't have our doors open.
He's in the ventilation shaft.
Oh god,
The
you guys
patio
don't
door
even know.
open, we had the screen shut,
the only
so
one
that,
who
like-
might have
Hold
any
on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Christine, Monica's talking, and then you're talking.
Well, it's
and,
fine. I'm not really part of it.
well, no, just talk.
No, it doesn't matter. So.
I was just 2 of you were talking at the same time.
Bye.
Oh my god. Okay, Monica, you can go ahead and talk.
Okay, but like I'm just like that is bees and like wasps are like one of my biggest anxieties. So just
Can
listening
confirm.
that story was just Like I'm not on, like, I definitely get into panic mode with that. Like I'm all like shaken up just hearing that. Like, ugh.
They were for
Ugh.
me for a while until I got stung outside of Cook Hall by a wasp because I didn't know up until that point if I was allergic or not.
Yeah.
So, and I was going into a sectional, so I told Patrick Kelly, I'm like, hey, if I pass out, it's because I'm allergic. So, yeah,
Call an ambulance, please.
yeah. But I didn't, so it's like, I guess I'm not allergic now. So now it's just like, fuck it, it'll hurt for a bit.
Calls coming from inside the house. Oh my goodness. I had a similar story. Not in this place, but in the previous place. I was working from home, and in my bedroom, I saw crawling on the blind some sort of wasp-looking thing, and I'm just like, what do I do? I'm technically on the clock. And I ended up calling my
Steve.
Yes.
It's just box noises.
It's ASMR box noises, and it's
You were in my
wonderful.
pocket. You guys are in my pocket. I'm trying to stow Christmas stuff in the garage.
Oh, that's from your pocket? That's
Oh,
even
girl,
better
shut
because
up,
it's
you
so
pocket.
close to your
I think
dick.
the sounds are coming through my Bluetooth headset. So.
So you're saying we were right next to your dick?
Oh god, I don't want no.
Oh, never mind. Oh, why is this empty ass box here?
As my grandfather is fond of saying, easy.
Apparently, it might snow in northern Illinois this weekend.
What?
Yeet.
GPS model is showing a rain to snow scenario Sunday afternoon across northern Illinois.
Cool.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, but around me, it's not getting below 50.
No,
Until-
northern Illinois. Northern
Yeah, I know.
Illinois.
Hey,
There is supposed to be a cold front this weekend.
It's Kevin. It's hard to wrap your head around this, but we technically are North Illinois.
Well, okay, so yes, but for
You're
weather's
talking about
sake,
a very top line.
yes,
of
the
North
I'm
Illinois.
the
in the
top
top
strip. Yes, you guys are in the top line. You guys might get snow apparently on Sunday. That'll be
Yes,
fun.
because for people down at ISU, we are Northern Illinois.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
Chicago's
moving
northern
ahead.
Illinois.
It's supposed to be like 46 and raining, which is like IMO the worst type of weather. Like
Yeah.
30 to 40 degree rain is the worst type of weather because it's cold enough where it should be snowing and it just seeps into your bones and it's the worst.
Like you should be snow by now, but you're not.
Yes, it's like I would
Rude.
rather take snow than whatever this fucking bullshit is.
So, two big entertainment announcemements I came across this week, completely
yeah.
shifting gears in a different direction.
Yeah, fucking
One, Animaniacs is coming back.
Oh yeah,
What?
I think I saw that vaguely.
Yeah.
that was loud.
Let me send a link to.
Yeah, I
they
saw
did-
the Nostalgia Critic messaging about that.
Yeah, they did. They literally like recreated a scene from Jurassic Park.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the announcement. That was if we can we
Really?
play that during the stream? Or
Hell
no?
yeah! Send it to me.
Just
Is it
did.
YouTube?
Yes, it's YouTube.
I
I'll
haven't
have to
seen it.
watch it
Oh, it's
some other time.
Hulu too.
Yeah, it's a Hulu original. That's why
I
that's what
have
they're bringing it back.
Hulu.
We ready to play or not?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll tell you.
Ugh.
I'm just gonna tell you go if I don't have an ad.
I have so many pens.
Okay.
Go.
Dr. Grant.
Helen, this species of cartoon has been extinct since 1998. I mean, these haven't
1998.
been seen on TV since the golden era of animation. And
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if those are the actual actors doing the voice acting here.
Well, the actors. I'll tell you later.
It's the Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister.
That's, yeah. Yeah.
And
He
Steven
did it.
Spielberg.
That crazy son of a gun actually did it.
Clean vectored outlines. Widescreen format.
These don't look like reruns.
They're not. I reanimated them.
We are gonna make a fortune.
Hulu.
This is sad. His jacket says Hulu on it.
Of course. Then there's Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky in the Brain. You said you're bringing back Pinky in the Brain?
Mm-mm. Say it again.
And Pinky in the Brain.
Bringing back Pinky and the
Say it
Brain.
again.
Oh, put your head between your knees. Where are they going?
Home. Welcome to
All new episodes
Animania.
November 20th, only on Hulu.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm very excited for that.
Yes. Animaniacs was something I felt like I got into after it was done airing. Well, mostly because I wasn't alive yet.
Well, yeah.
But like, what was
Fucking
the?
love Animaniacs. Fucking.
Didn't they do like a greatest, like a Around the World in 80 Days movie kind of thing? They like a big like race movie.
Oh, they did. They did Wacko's Wish.
Is that the one with the big race?
Correct.
Yeah, it was kind of a race. It was Wacko found
Really?
a shooting star, and then everyone was racing towards the star to get the wish.
Yep, you're right.
It aired on like Cartoon Network's movie night like a bunch of times.
Yeah, I remember watching that a lot.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, me too.
And I actually bought like the complete Animaniacs box set for my dad for Christmas a little while ago. Dude, I fucking love Animaniacs. Fucking Mindy and that fucking dog, Pinky and the Brain, Freakazoid.
Oh, nerd.
I hope that
The pigeons.
yeah, and I hope it kind of, because Animaniacs was always like, for the time it was a little edgy, so
Yes.
I hope
It
that it
was-
stays edgy.
Narratively, it was very groundbreaking for a comedy cartoon.
Yes.
Yes. So, very excited for that. Something I'm not sure if I'm excited for.
Oh boy, shifting gears.
Sony just confirmed that Spider-Man 3, as in like the third Spider-Man in the MCU,
Yep.
is also going to feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
No,
Pizza time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a link for that because I saw that
have
they
it right here.
they officially added Benedict Cumberbatch to the cast.
This is my reaction, just like, interesting.
Yeah. Supposedly, Sony officially
Time.
announced it. So,
Steve, are you done?
Yeah, when it comes to those entertainment announcements nowadays, I'm just kind of like, or especially with like the superhero universe, it's just like, I'm just gonna wait and see how this goes.
so it's essentially Spider-Verse, but not the Miles Morales version.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And Spider-Man 3 is set for release in December of 2021.
Yes, but
So it's going to be
notice
based
how they
on
have not confirmed it yet.
Yeah.
Just a Sony source has leaked
Yeah.
it, so it's not confirmed yet.
True. That would be... Because doesn't Andrew Garfield, like, hate Spider-Man at this point, or doesn't give a shit about it?
No, so the whole thing with Andrew Garfield was that him and the
Gesundheit.
what?
All right.
Oh,
Vanessa's
Gesundheit.
sneezing a lot.
I believe the whole thing with Andrew Garfield was him and the director got into a bunch of fights that kind of just kept escalating. Like, and I
You think
think
Spider-Man had a director?
what? Yeah, apparently it did. But so I think the whole thing was that there was something with like an award ceremony where like the director did Andrew Garfield dirty or something, and Andrew Garfield got mad. Thank you. And then like didn't show up or something. There's a lot of back and forth between them, and then that didn't like lead to the collapse of Amazing Spider-Man 3, but I don't think it helped. Because the whole thing was that the Amazing Spider-Man universe was going to set up like a whole Spider-Man cinematic universe. Like they were setting it up.
Electro, Sinister Six.
I mean, like they were setting it up for a Sinister Six movie and then a Sinister Six plot line,
and then Amazing Spider-Man 2 bombed.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
it was a bad movie from what I've heard. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it like a terrible movie. I still had fun and I enjoyed it, but I could see why people don't like it. I still had fun and I liked it.
Also, they cast Paul Giamatti as the fucking Rhino.
Okay, he was in it for like 10 minutes tops.
The fact that he was in it at all was
I know. He's at the very beginning and the very end. That's it.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's Paul Giamatti. You don't waste Paul Giamatti.
It was
on
Paul
a fucking
Giamatti,
bit role.
Jamie Foxx, and wasn't there a third villain in that movie?
Yeah, it was shitty Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Hobgoblin, technically, I think.
Hobgoblin.
Oh, yeah.
Who was actually my favorite Spider-Man villain in the 90s cartoon.
Which one?
Which-
Hobgoblin?
Yeah, Hobgoblin. I fucking loved Hobgoblin.
I'd never watched the 90s cartoon, so
Which-
I couldn't tell you.
I liked Amazing Spider-Man's portrayal of what's that character's name?
Gwen
Electro?
No, Peter Parker's best friend.
Harry.
Harry Osborn. Like he was really good in that, like up until the point where he turned into like Hobgoblin or whatever you want to call him. And then he got all like crazy and stuff and was kind of like, you lost me.
The only problem with that is that I mean I keep in mind I haven't seen the second movie. I think I saw the Nostalgia Critic review it a while back. So
Cat Tax Part 2,
Cat
Electric
Tax.
Boogaloo.
So I only have like experience. So I have a basic structure of the plot, but
And we gave her 2, so
We give her one.
one more. I don't want to upset her stomach.
Danny girl.
I lost my train of thought.
Ants?
1990s Spider-Man is still the only one that got Hobgoblin and Kingpin right.
Oh, well, isn't Harry Osborn supposed to be like his best friend like since childhood, and they just didn't bother to mention him in the first movie?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also, if you haven't, also Kingpin.
I just gave her a treat.
With what you said about Kingpin, Mike. Check out the Daredevil Netflix show. That dude.
I'm told he is interesting in that.
He is, from what I can remember.
They also have a in Spider-Verse. He's pretty good.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Verse is
He
a
was the villain in
standout movie.
Spider-Verse, wasn't he?
Yeah, Spider-Verse
Which
was very good.
I'm cautiously excited for Toby and Andrew to be in the movie, but like I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Like, what does
But
Tobey
also,
Maguire
I
look
would-
like this year?
Well, he's
But
old
also,
Spider-Man.
he's gonna look like Peter Parker in Spider-Verse. That's what he's gonna look like.
Yeah,
Probably. I mean,
I'm sure he'll get into shape. He's just gonna be old Spidey.
Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man.
Yes, I
Tom
agree. So
Holland,
here's my
yes.
big thing about Spider-Man and my big passionate rant why Tom Holland is best Spider-Man TM. Which I don't think I'm going to get too much argument from this group in particular, but we'll see.
I think I know what your argument is. Let's hear it.
Yeah, you've probably heard me say this before. So, Tobey Maguire nailed down the nerdy kind of side of Peter Parker, the awkward nerd, but he did not have a lot of that like wisecracking,
The quips, the jokes.
wisecracking quips that Spider-Man is supposed to have. Whereas Andrew Garfield kind of brings back that wisecrack, and it's great. But they made him too much of an emo skater boy and not nerdy enough to balance that out. And Tom Holland is the perfect mix of the quips and the awkward. Like he's not necessarily like a super nerd. Mike, what are you gonna fucking say?
I 100% agree with Monica.
I don't think he nails the nerd part at all. I really don't.
Tom Holland.
Which
I
Spider-Man
will
movies
say-
have you seen, Mike? Which new ones?
For the MCU, I've seen the first. I haven't seen Far From Home, but I've seen Homecoming.
Okay.
I say he,
I don't think he nails the nerd part at all.
but he nails the awkward pretty well.
No, he's still a nerd. He's a brainiac. He's like
Yes,
the
he's
smartest
not-
kid on the
he's
decathlon
Not
team.
like Tobey Maguire outcast kind of nerd. He's not at all.
Yeah, but
At
Tobey
all.
Maguire. I mean, with the directing of the first Spider-Man, with the Sam Raimi ones, they took the Spider-Man nerd thing and went way to one side.
Yeah,
I
I
also
was
have
gonna say
other
like the
issues
nerd
with-
archetype in 20 what year did Homecoming come out? 2016,
Thank you.
2017?
Oh, it
Sounds
was like
about right.
or
The
something.
nerd archetype in 2016 is a lot different than the nerd archetype in 2000 and even the nerd archetype before that. Like
My
Like,
issue
there-
with Tom Holland Spider-Man is I didn't think he had enough social struggles to get through. I don't think they really got that part down.
Most of the movie's a social struggle.
Yeah,
He's
and I
trying to
don't
figure out how
think
to
they did
act about his crush.
I just don't think they did it well.
Also, I don't entirely disagree with Mike. I also very much agree with Monica. That's like Tobey Maguire is a good Peter Parker, whereas Andrew Garfield is a good Spider-Man, and I think, yeah, as you said, Tom Holland is the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Here's my outlier opinion. Spider-Verse has the best Spider-Man so far.
Okay.
Not even
Behind
close.
that.
It's
I
not
can get
even
behind
close
that.
for me.
I am not even. I guess yes, I would agree. I think Into the Spider-Verse is the most well-rounded, best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
just
wasn't even
fun.
counting that as like a.
Whoever played Miles Morales and whoever played Peter Parker in that, I would say both of them are the best Spider-Man that we've had so far.
Fair.
I can see your argument with that.
I don't know. Spider-Ham's my favorite.
Spider-Ham.
John,
The fact that
when
Spider-Man-
I found out John Mulaney was Spider-Ham, I was like,
Oh no,
why?
Nicolas Cage was the emo. It was the dark one. That's right.
I cannot believe that Nick Cage was Spider Noir.
No. See, I can
Noir,
believe that because he sounds like Nick Cage.
Are you
Nick Cage.
both of them were in that movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit!
John Mulaney was Spider-Ham.
I love the reveal of the female Doc Ock. That was actually
Yeah.
That was a great twist. That was
Dr.
like
Octavia coming at all.
Dr. Octavia. That was like way out of right field, and I was like, oh, okay, this is awesome.
The whole side plot of his uncle being the Prowler, which I think they might have just made up for the movie, because I am not familiar with any villain called the Prowler.
I think the villain existed already.
Yes.
But I don't know about
Technically-
Miles Morales.
Technically, Night Prowler is in Homecoming. Donald Glover is the character that becomes the Night Prowler. If you remember,
yes,
he like webs him to the car, and he's talking about his nephew. His nephew's Miles Morales. Yeah, his nephew's Miles Morales. They were setting up Miles Morales to be in the MCU. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's a very long con right now. So people are hoping that comes out to fruition.
Also, Oscar Isaac was also Spider-Man.
Who was he in that?
Dude, fucking Liv Schreiber plays Kingpin in that movie. Holy shit!
Spider-Verse is like a decked out cast, decked out soundtrack.
Yes, but which one, Nat?
I think he was the blonde Peter Parker, the one who dies at the beginning.
No, that was like Brad Pitt or something. I thought.
No, Brad Pitt wasn't in the movie.
The post.
The post credits Spider-Man. The super future one. Yeah.
Where they're just doing memes.
That goes back in time.
I see what you're doing.
Stop pointing at me! No, you stop pointing at me!
I love that they introduced that meme in the movie.
Stop pointing at me!
Oh, I saw it. Okay.
Here's this hammer. It'll fit in your pocket.
Holy shit!
Who plays Aunt May?
Lily Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
I know the name.
Let's see. She was in. Trying to think of something you guys would recognize. I gotta scroll down a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, look at the IMDb, my dude.
That's what I'm going for. Did anyone watch Will and Grace?
Christine did.
Hey guys, I think I'm gonna bounce. I've got some stuff to take care of before we all head.
Oh,
so
she played Miss Frizzle on Magic School Bus.
What? That's fine, Steve. I think we're gonna wrap up in a minute here.
I'm a bounce, guys. Next week I'll be on with my real setup, and I can talk about my vacation in California.
Bye,
Nice.
Steve.
You are not
Bye,
on
guys.
fire.
Well, we did see some burned areas, but we didn't see any fires. All right, bye,
Bye.
guys. Peace and out.
Bye.
All right. Oh, the video's still playing on my fish tank.
Fish stank? What?
My fish tank.
I heard fish stank.
God damn it, Mike. But yeah, so we all agree Spider-Verse is awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
Spider-Verse was very well done.
Spider-Verse is hands down my favorite Spider-Man movie.
That's
It's
fair.
not even close.
That's fair. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay, I think we're at a good wrapping up point then. Any last thoughts?
I have to pee a lot.
Me too. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back in a little bit with, I think, Minecraft was the plan.
Yeah. Oh, I should load that up.
Oh, fuck. A little bit of crafting going on. And join me and Mike tomorrow for Lasso Level 2. Maybe,
oh, yeah, baby.
Maybe we'll get through more than one level in one night. I doubt it. Yeah, doubt it.
Fucking
But
doubt.
maybe. We'll
No.
see. It could happen. You don't know, Mike. It could happen. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back in a little bit with some Minecraft. Make sure you're following so you know when we go live, and make sure you're following so you know when we play Halo tomorrow, because it should be a hoot, is what I would call it. No, we don't have enough people for Phasmophobia, and people don't have Phasmophobia. I don't have Phasmophobia now. So make sure you're still following and watching, and we'll be back in a little bit.
God damn it, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
I'm a pee in your butt.
No, you're not.
Please tread on me, mommy.
Oh,
no.
wow. How did we not notice that till the end?